How to Meditate Lesson 12 answers the question, how to meditate negative thoughts away. One of the biggest benefits or reliefs I got when I started meditating was my ability to let go of negative thoughts. Jealousy, anger, comparing myself to others, and overthinking. After we complete our stillness practice, I'll share with you exactly how that works. Stillness meditation practice is a 10-minute twice daily practice where we spend 5 minutes holding a spot or focused concentration on an image in our mind's eye, followed by 5 minutes of silence, stillness, or absence of thought. This is the best practice I've found to help you excel as a psychic and healer, but also works very well to stop negative thinking. Please join me in saying Reverend Bradley's request. Open, O Blessed Spirit, the spiritual eyes of my soul, that I may be released from the darkness overspreading me by the delusions of the outward senses, that I may perceive and understand those things spiritual. complete your meditation. And as you complete your meditation, allow yourself to dwell, to linger in this place of thinking tranquility, of quiet receptivity. This I call the eye of the storm, a place where everything outside in the chaotic world is doing its own thing, while everything inside my inner world is in my control. This allows me to connect with my spirit self. It allows me to hear my own thoughts, where the observer and the thinker are one. And this is the place where negative thinking starts to dissolve. Because just as I mentioned, you have a thinker, and that's all your thinking that is generated through your brain, the physical part of your body. And you have the observer, and that's your mind, and that's the part of you that exists after the physical body dies, the spirit self, the spiritual you, your consciousness, which is basically an electrostatic energy field that is conscious. But that consciousness has a difficult time expressing itself outside of a physical body until it gets very close to spiritual perfection. Negative thinking is the process of our brain's survival technique, survival skill. If you look at lesser animals, what they do is they are very clear in their intention. They want to survive. And they do that by complying and adhering to their tribal structure, their tribal rules. You know, some animals are herd, some animals are packs, some animals are individualistic, but they all have a way, a niche through evolution that allows them to survive. Of course, evolution is going much too slow to keep up with our current modern climate change and what's going on in the world. So many of our beloved animals and creatures are not surviving very well. But humanity has a unique evolutionary twist. We actually can engage in abstract thought. We can engage in symbolic thinking. So we are capable of language, multiple languages. We are capable of an imagination which allows us to see and perceive things that we have not directly experienced. It's this merging of our thinking and survival instinct with our abstract ability to think and our more intuitive knowing from our spirit self that allows meditation to start to erase, dissolve, and allow us to let go of negative thinking, negative thoughts. You may have heard me say many times that thoughts are things, they are real. So you think, so you are. So you think you shall become, so shall you become. And what that means is that you have a series of thoughts that you have interpreted as negative. Meditation allows you to recontextualize your thinking so that it's not negative. More importantly, recontextualize your thinking so it doesn't trigger an emotional response. So I can say that I had a bagel for breakfast, and most people would go, meh. Or I could say when I had a bagel for breakfast yesterday, someone cussed me out, and that creates a response. As you begin to meditate, you can create any and all circumstances to be the same, perceive the same, and react the same in your body as simply, I had a bagel for breakfast. No emotional charge, no additional meaning, nothing more than the facts. Just the facts, ma'am. And by being able to do that, by being able to separate our emotional response, our survival instinct, for simply hearing information as the facts, more importantly, when that information comes within in the form of our thinking, in the form of our imagination, in the form of our fantasies, in the form of our interpretation of information that our physical senses perceives, we have a second or two where we can disengage our emotional response so we can think about how we want to think about what just happened. The first way that meditation helps us stop overthinking, to stop negative thinking, to stop obsessing on things, is the very physical nature of sitting down to meditate. Because to sit down to meditate, you have to choose it. You have to decide to do it, and you have to actually do it. You have to surrender to your goal, to your intention. And that first act of surrendering to your process that you think may work is the first step in training the beast, the body, the physical you, the animal you, to do what you want. You sit down and you don't think. Okay, how does that work? Well, remember that your brain is the key part of your central nervous system. And everything that you experience is filtered through your central nervous system and your brain. Your brain has two components, the subconscious and the conscious. And the subconscious's job is to automate many of the processes and filter out information that it feels you've already handled and responded to and you know how to deal with before it sends the information into the conscious mind. So before you even are consciously aware that you are starting to get triggered, starting to have a negative thought, starting to go down that path of stinking thinking, starting to obsess over something, your subconscious mind has already determined that you have to do that. Now, meditation starts with the conscious mind and starts our ability to discern what information it receives and perceives from the subconscious mind, and then recontextualize that within a different framework, if you will, so we can learn. Well, some of us seem to never learn. But meditation is a process of expanding our consciousness to ever more percentage of our experience of life. The way we say it in Reverend Bradley's request is that we see beyond the delusions of the outward senses to perceive those things spiritual. Now, spiritual is the observer, the part of our mind that will live after we die, and the outward senses is our thinking, our physical brain, our central nervous system, and this beast, this body. So meditation allows us to become aware of how we respond or react to the information we encounter, the stimuli we encounter, and choose a response. Once you learn that you can choose how you respond to situations, your path becomes much easier. You consciously choose your thoughts. More importantly, when something comes up that would have a negative reaction, you can consciously choose to accept it as, oh, I had a bagel for breakfast, instead of anything else. He was a jerk. Oh, I had a bagel for breakfast. She lied to me. Oh, I had a bagel for breakfast. Oh, the president is a jerk. The president is this. Oh, I had a bagel for breakfast. And once you're able to perceive everything in your life with the emotional and unconscious response of I had a bagel for breakfast, negative thinking becomes rational thinking, and you can pick and choose your responses. And more importantly, you find a way to free yourself from the constraints of your mind, because your mind now becomes a tool for creation rather than a tool for reaction or destruction. That's it. That's how meditation helps you stop your negative thinking, your overthinking. I'm T.S. Hall, the Stoic Medium, and I train old souls, empaths, and highly sensitive people to excel as psychics and healers. I do this by applying scientific methodology to ancient, timeless spiritual practices, so you get real-world results. Results that you can display on command in undeniable ways. But most importantly, skills that you can use when you need them most. If you like this spiritual lesson, give us a thumbs up. If not, give us a thumbs down. We're trying to figure out exactly how to convey this information in a way that works on electronic means instead of face-to-face, live and in person. If you're new to our channel, consider subscribing. Hit the subscribe button below or click on my picture and hit the little bell so you'll be notified when we publish new spiritual lessons. Below my picture, you'll find what I recommend you watch next. It's an introduction to spiritualism as a philosophy to see if it's the right choice, the right path for your life's journey this go around. Until next time, my highest blessings.